During a cruise, tourists accidentally spotted 2,000 polar bears on a rocky shore. The mass of animals, like an Arctic fairy tale come to life, astonished everyone. Watch until the end to find out what happened next. On one cool autumn day, a group of tourists, led by the experienced guide James and his colleague Emily, set off on a planned cruise through the cold waters of the Southern Ocean. Their small expedition boat, filled with anticipation and excitement for adventure, glided slowly through the turbulent Arctic waters when a distant island suddenly appeared on the horizon. At first, due to the snow-covered slopes and vague silhouettes, Thomas, one of the expedition participants, suggested that it might be a herd of sheep grazing peacefully across the expanse of this mysterious place. However, as the boat drew closer, it became clear that their expectations were far from reality. Before the tourists' eyes unfolded a breathtaking scene. On the rocky and icy shore of the island, wrapped in harsh Arctic conditions, a massive group of white creatures had gathered. Instead of the usual sheep, they were confronted with real polar bears, majestic and powerful, with white fur that revealed subtle shades of cream and beige. The tourists' faces, reflecting a mix of amazement, delight and slight unease, froze in genuine surprise. Clara, listening intently to the words of Guide James, couldn't believe her eyes when she saw that around the carcass of a beached whale, an almost gigantic army of bears had assembled, numbering around 2,000 individuals by estimate. Dr. Henry Oatley, a biologist and expert in polar bear behavior, as well as an invited specialist, explained that such a gathering is a rare natural phenomenon. Typically, a polar bear is a solitary predator roaming the vast drifting ice of the Arctic, and it's hard to imagine hundreds of these animals congregating in one place. However, under certain conditions, when the carcass of a large marine mammal washes ashore, polar bears, regardless of sex or age, gather in huge groups to take advantage of the suddenly available food source. That's exactly what happened on this remote island. In the foreground, close to the boat, tourists with binoculars and cameras diligently captured every detail of this unique event. James and Emily, along with participants like Daniel and Sophie, stood breathless, watching as the mighty bears, with their majestic white coats and expressive eyes, approached the whale carcass. Their eyes, a striking blend of blue and amber hues, testified to their focus and determination to secure food. Meanwhile, in a more distant part of the landscape, the remaining bears, like shadows, filled the entire horizon, creating a sense of infinite power and the wildness of nature. With each passing moment, the tourists became more captivated by this spectacle. They photographed every movement of the animals, recorded videos, and some even laughed and joked about the unexpectedness of the situation. At one point, Emily chuckled when one of the bears seemed to make funny movements, as if waving to the tourists. Together, they reveled in the moment, united in shared awe of nature's strength and beauty. Observing this natural feast, the tourists tried to understand how it was possible. Clara, thrilled, asked how bears, usually leading solitary lives, could gather in such massive groups, while Daniel wondered how they shared the food when hundreds of animals fed on the whale carcass at once. Henry Oatley explained in detail that such congregations form due to clearly structured zones. There's a direct feeding zone where bears stand side by side, a waiting zone where animals line up, a resting zone where they retreat after a hearty meal, and finally a distant zone where sated bears calmly wander the surroundings. This organization reflects the high social adaptability of polar bears under conditions of limited resources and extreme climate. Another intriguing moment was when the tourists excitedly noticed that some groups of bears were actually sleeping together. On one part of the island, several bears seemed to curl up into balls and doze peacefully, while others, full of energy, leapt and ran across the rocks, showcasing their strength and agility. These scenes, full of contrast, calmness and wild activity at once, made the tourists laugh and marvel at life in its rawest form. Thomas, still slightly in shock, remarked that despite all their might, some bears displayed surprising caution, especially noticeable in females with cubs, who, as Henry explained, are always vigilant to protect their young. Sophie, closely observing every move of the animals, noted that even in such an extreme environment, friendly alliances between individuals could be seen. Minor disputes were settled peacefully, without bursts of aggression. The tourists aboard the boat didn't just document this moment, they actively enjoyed it. James and Emily occasionally arranged impromptu photo sessions, and Daniel teased that they had witnessed the most incredible natural spectacle. Laughing, they discussed how this astonishing gathering of polar bears, up to 2,000 individuals, would forever change their view of the wild. The video recorded on board quickly spread across social media, sparking a flood of discussions and enthusiastic reviews. Some called it nature's greatest gift, others a powerful reminder of how little we know about the behavior of these amazing creatures. Over time, this encounter became a symbol not only of wild and unpredictable nature, but also a reminder of the importance of responsible tourism. Tourists like Clara, Daniel, Sophie, and Thomas said they would never forget the moment when a casual boat trip turned into a true adventure full of wonder, joy, and deep respect for nature's forces. Each of them insisted that nature is always ready to surprise, and such encounters are a priceless experience capable of awakening true reverence for the world's power in one's heart. This story, which took place on a remote Arctic island, became a vivid example of how, even in the harshest and most uncharted corners of the earth, moments capable of transforming lives can be found. James, Emily, and their companions now fondly recall that day when they saw polar bears, like an organized community, gather around the whale carcass to secure food for the coming winter. This incident stood not only as a testament to the incredible strength and beauty of wild nature, but also as a reminder of how vital it is to cherish and respect every one of its manifestations. Thus, the chance event when tourists on a boat unexpectedly encountered a massive gathering of polar bears will forever remain in their memories as an example of nature's true grandeur and mystery. This meeting became an occasion for joyful storytelling, the sharing of photos and videos, and a powerful symbol that the world is full of wonders, capable of astonishing and inspiring even the most seasoned travelers. In the days following that unforgettable encounter, every conversation among the tourists brimmed with excitement. They exchanged stories of how, in a single moment, their quiet cruise transformed into a front-row seat at nature's grand spectacle. Cameras and smartphones captured every detail, from the intense focus in the eyes of the polar bears to the wide-eyed astonishment of the onlookers, creating a mosaic of memories that was both humbling and exhilarating. The experience ignited a sense of camaraderie among the travelers, even as they discussed the intricate behaviors of the polar bears with the onboard expert, Dr. Nikita Ovsyannikov. Their shared wonder forged a bond that transcended cultural and linguistic differences. Late into the night, around the gentle hum of the boat's engines, they gathered to review their photos and video clips, laughing over unexpected moments and marveling at nature's raw, unfiltered beauty. Their tales, filled with a mix of scientific curiosity and heartfelt awe, painted a picture of an untamed world where every creature played a role in the delicate balance of life. For many, this spontaneous encounter served as a reminder that even in the most remote corners of the earth, nature still holds secrets and surprises that defy expectations. It underscored the idea that the wilderness is not merely a backdrop for human adventure, but a living, breathing entity that interacts with those who are fortunate enough to witness its marvels firsthand. This shared experience encouraged them to reflect on the importance of preserving these pristine environments, as the very fabric of our planet's beauty depends on the delicate balance of its ecosystems. Moreover, as they shared their experiences online, the ripple effect was immediate. Social media buzzed with the images and videos of the majestic polar bears, sparking conversations and inspiring others to learn more about Arctic conservation. The encounter evolved into a broader dialogue about responsible tourism and the need to protect vulnerable species from the impacts of climate change and human interference. In this way, the meeting became not just a personal memory, but a catalyst for environmental awareness, a call to action to ensure that such breathtaking moments continue to inspire future generations.